On the day of our engagement, the building across from my boyfriend's apartment caught fire. He was desperate to rush downstairs and rescue his first love who was trapped in the flames. But the fire was too intense, and firefighters were already conducting rescue operations in the neighborhood, so I stopped him from going. Later, we got married, but he spent all his time taking care of his disfigured first love. I spent over 30 years alone in an empty house, childless, and when I fell seriously ill, he pulled the plug on my oxygen supply. Evelyn, were you happy in this lifetime? If you hadn't stopped me back then, Lila wouldn't have been disfigured. When I opened my eyes again, I had reincarnated to the day of the engagement ceremony. Lila is my sister. I must save her. Hurry up, hurry up. Liam left the house without even closing the front door. In the dining room, everyone was so embarrassed they didn't know what to do. This. My mom looked awkwardly at Liam's parents. Who is Lila? My dad asked. Liam's father shook his head, while his mother rubbed her hands together, clearly embarrassed. It's a girl from the neighborhood, the same age as Liam. They grew up playing together, Liam's grandmother chimed in from the sofa. My parents understood immediately. Liam's mother quickly turned to me with an apologetic smile. Evelyn, don't overthink it. Liam and that Lila are just good friends, nothing more. Liam's father chimed in, that's right. Lila's parents are idle all day long, and after graduating from vocational school, Lila hasn't held a proper job either. Their family and ours aren't on the same level, there's no intersection. I smiled. Uncle, Auntie, may I go to Liam's room? Of course you may, Liam's mother nodded. I turned and left. In Liam's room, I took the blue-covered notebook from his desk and the photo of Lila under his pillow. In this life, I know all too well what his valuables look like and where they're kept. I returned to the dining room and handed the two items to Liam's parents. Liam has liked Lila for a long time. You can see for yourselves. After a pause, I added, since he abandoned me today to save Lila, it's clear she has always been in his heart. Then this engagement is off. From now on, Liam and I have nothing to do with each other. After speaking, I ignored whatever Liam's parents were about to say and turned to my own parents. Dad, Mom, let's go home. All right, let's go. My mother replied curtly, clearly still angry. Liam and I were high school classmates. In our second year, when Liam ranked first in the entire grade and gave a speech, I found him incredibly charming, handsome, and cool. From that moment on, I fell for him. After the college entrance exams, during a class reunion, by sheer coincidence, Liam and I ended up sitting together. We talked about the universities and majors we wanted to apply to, and our vague plans for the future. That day, we talked about so many things. Later, when the college entrance exam scores came out, Liam called me. Evelyn, let's be together. We'll apply to University A as a couple. Okay. I was overjoyed. We dated throughout university for 4 years, and after graduation, we met each other's parents. Naturally, we got engaged. In my past life, on this very day, I stopped Liam. Because from his family's balcony, I saw the opposite building engulfed in massive flames, thick black smoke continuously expanding its reach, billowing skyward. Firefighters had already begun rescue operations downstairs, with police and medical teams arriving as well. Barricade tapes were already set up around the scene. I suspected the police wouldn't let Liam rush into the fire to save someone, and fearing for his safety, I couldn't bear to see him take such risks, so I desperately held him back. Later, his childhood sweetheart was rescued by firefighters, though her left face and shoulder were severely burned. He took care of her in the hospital for a full 3 months. Back then, I thought it was just out of friendship and guilt. After all, he had wanted to save her himself. Even when I found Lila's photo under his pillow, I made excuses for him and convinced myself otherwise. After marriage, he still insisted on caring for Lila. I grew increasingly bothered, we argued, fought, made scenes, but nothing changed. Life just drifted on in that hollow compromise. It wasn't until I was 52 years old, when I accidentally discovered Liam's old diary, that I suddenly realized he had always loved Lila. From the awakening of his first love until now, the person in his heart had always been Lila, never changing. After venting all my sorrow and regret, I asked for a divorce, but Liam refused. I initiated legal proceedings, but he interfered and obstructed in every possible way, causing the court to delay its judgment. I grew increasingly despondent, and illness began to take hold of me. On the third occasion I was taken to the hospital by ambulance. The doctor issued a critical condition notice. Liam, as my only family member, pulled out my oxygen tube. "Evelyn, were you happy in this life? If you hadn't stopped me back then, Lila wouldn't have been disfigured." I had long guessed he still resented me. Gazing into his indifferent eyes, I smiled faintly and closed mine. Now, I've granted him his what if by not stopping him. May his Lila remain unharmed as he claims. On my way home, I deleted Liam's number and all his social media accounts. Sitting with my parents chatting, they comforted me. "Evelyn, don't be sad. A scumbag like Liam doesn't deserve you. We'll find someone better for you later," my mom said. My dad also said, "Evelyn, it's okay. Later, your mom and I will ask around among our relatives for outstanding young men. My daughter is excellent, you won't have trouble finding a husband." I nodded, acknowledging their words. But I had other thoughts. "Dad, Mom, I don't want to consider marriage for the next few years," I said. "I want to work while preparing for graduate school entrance exams. Currently, I'm working at a top 100 company. The job isn't too stressful, with good salary and benefits, and there's plenty of room for promotion. In my past life, I resigned from this company right after getting married and found a lower-paying but easier job. I wanted to spend more quiet time with Liam and have a child to give them more companionship. But in the end, my thinking was just a joke. Now I understand very clearly that career and ability are more important than any person or relationship. Then strive for it." Next, I laid out my specific plans for work and studies. After hearing me out, my parents fully supported me. "Go for it, daughter. Dad looks forward to seeing an even better version of you." My mom nodded. "As long as our Evelyn is happy, that's all that matters." After working for a week, my best friend Sophie contacted me. "How badly was your Liam injured?" Sophie was my desk mate in senior year of high school, and she pretty much witnessed my entire relationship with Liam from beginning to end. I didn't quite understand her question, but told her the truth anyway. "Liam and I broke up. We called off the engagement that very day." "OMG, what's going on?" Sophie was shocked. I told her about what happened on the engagement day. After Sophie understood the situation, she said, "No wonder someone mentioned Liam got burned. Wait here, I'll go find out the details." An hour later, Sophie called again. "Sweetie, I've got the info," Sophie said. I listened. Liam and his so-called white moonlight Lila both got burned, and it's really serious. I heard the police couldn't stop Liam, he rushed upstairs to save someone. But you see, originally Lila was hiding safely with a wet towel covering her nose and mouth, and another wet towel in her arms. But after Liam arrived, Lila went to open the door and got hit by burning debris from the house, leaving her entire leg burned. Later, when Liam tried to take Lila downstairs, somehow both of them got knocked unconscious. Fortunately, Lila had given Liam a wet towel, so they were still breathing when the firefighters found them. Sophie said all this in one go. I didn't respond or say anything. Sophie continued slowly, "Both of them now have extensive burns. Liam has injuries on his face, back, and legs, while Lila's legs, arms, and waist are burned. You know, if Liam hadn't rushed forward and let the firefighters rescue Lila, she probably wouldn't have been injured this badly. And Liam, he abandoned you to save Lila, and now look at him. TSK, can't help but say it's karma." I didn't respond after hearing this. But in my heart, I thought, "Liam, it seems the outcome isn't quite what you hoped for in your past life." Every day, I was busy with work while preparing for the postgraduate entrance exams. One evening, just as I finished dinner and was about to start studying, my mom called. "Evelyn, Liam's parents came to our house today. Liam was burned in the fire, and his parents are planning to sell their house to pay for his skin graft surgery. Liam's parents came to apologize on behalf of their son and even proposed a marriage alliance with us." I asked, "How did you respond?" My mother immediately became impassioned. I flatly refused. That kind of two-timing man isn't husband material at all. What would we want with him? I smiled contentedly and chimed in, exactly right. I didn't think much of this matter, and the following days passed by peacefully. On the weekend, I made plans to go shopping with Sophie. Just as I was about to leave, my phone rang. It was an unknown number. I answered. "Hello. Evelyn, it's me." "Liam?" I was surprised. I had blocked and deleted him before, so he shouldn't have been able to call me. Did he borrow someone else's phone? "What do you want?" I asked coldly. Liam said, "I'm at the hospital right now. Can you come see me?" "No," I immediately refused. Liam sighed. "Even though we've broken up, we're still friends, aren't we?" "Evelyn, I want to see you, really. Can you come to the hospital to visit me?" "I don't want to see you," I rejected him again, adding, "In my eyes, you're not even a friend." In my past life, Liam tormented me so much that by all rights, in this lifetime, I should seek revenge against him, make him suffer a miserable death. It wouldn't even be excessive. But I've thought about it, and if I pursue revenge, I'll just end up living in darkness and pain myself. So, forget it. I'll stay away from him and cut all ties. I just want to live this life well. Perhaps my two rejections angered Liam, as his tone immediately changed. "Evelyn, what gives you the right to act so high and mighty? Let me tell you, I never loved you. When I confessed to you back then, it was just a fleeting infatuation. The one I've always loved is Lila, and I willingly chose to save her, even if it led to this. Just you wait. Once I've recovered, I'll marry Lila right away. Without me, no other man would want you either. You'll end up alone for the rest of your life." His words didn't stir any emotion in me. My heart remained as calm as still water. After a moment of silence, I said lightly, "My life is none of your business." I complained to Sophie about Liam. "What kind of love is this? If he loves Lila so much, why does he still want to see you? Is he just asking for trouble? Just wait and see, their relationship won't end well. Both of them got burned. They cover it up with clothes so you can't see, but what about when they take them off? Won't they resent each other? Anyway, I'm just waiting to see Liam get what's coming to him willingly." After venting, we talked about work and the future. "Darling, work hard for your postgraduate entrance exams, strive to succeed, and aim for the highest peaks. With your beauty and abilities, you'll meet someone even better who will cherish you." Listening to Sophie's blessings and aspirations warmed my heart and filled me with confidence. Yes, let's work hard together to live the life we want. After the postgraduate exams ended, my life became a bit more relaxed. Every day after work, I returned to my rented apartment and cooked dinner for myself. My cooking skills improved so much that when I went home before the new year, my parents wanted me to cook for them every day. One winter morning, while I was on my way to the supermarket to buy groceries, I unexpectedly ran into Lila on the street. Lila and I had known each other for a long time, all because of Liam. In my previous life, after Liam and I got together, he arranged a gathering where he treated Lila and me to beef noodles and introduced us. But back then, Lila left before even finishing her noodles, saying she had something urgent to attend to. After locking eyes with Lila for a few seconds, she walked toward me. I stood my ground, not planning to avoid her. Well, dressed quite nicely, I see. Must have made some money this year," Lila said with sarcasm dripping from her voice. "I'm wearing a black wool coat, and the texture is quite nice." Then, I hear again. "What's the use of having money? Liam doesn't want you anymore. I heard that on your engagement day, Liam abandoned you and rushed to save me without hesitation." Evelyn, you're just discarded trash. In Liam's heart, I'll always come first. I simply smile at Lila's words. Then I glance at what she's wearing. The long white down jacket nearly enveloped her entire body, with her hair left loose, a scarf around her neck, and tall leather boots on her feet. Only her face remained exposed. Lila's face was the perfect oval shape, with well-proportioned features and lively eyes, truly beautiful. In her past life, half of this face had been pockmarked and scarred, even a mask couldn't fully conceal the burn marks, so Lila had hardly ever gone outside. And precisely because of this, Liam had run in and out every day to buy things for Lila, enduring her complaints and beatings, letting her vent her frustrations. Oh, right, Lila was also pregnant. In the years before my death, Liam told me a lot about his past with Lila. After the pregnancy test showed positive, Lila intentionally started jumping around soon after, causing a miscarriage due to intense physical activity. Liam was furious, but Lila said giving birth would require going to the hospital, where doctors might see her true nature, and she refused. So when I died, Lila was still holed up in her house. Probably planning to stay there until death. I gathered my thoughts and wiped the smile off my face. First place is great. I heard both you and Liam got burned. Where were you injured? Was it serious? Liam used to say you were obsessed with looking pretty, so, will you still be able to wear skirts this summer? Lila's face instantly twisted in rage. Evelyn, you bitch. Lila raised her hand to strike me. I quickly blocked her swing and forcefully shoved her arm away. You're the bitch here. You came looking for me first, provoking me. Lila staggered back a few steps, speechless. I couldn't be bothered to engage with her any longer and turned to leave. On the third day of the Lunar New Year, when Sophie and I met up, I heard some good news. Mark said Liam's skin surgery was relatively successful. Mark was our high school classmate, and Sophie had stayed in touch with him. Sophie continued sharing the details she had learned from Mark. Liam's parents sold their house to fully focus on his treatment. I heard that for the 3 previous surgeries, his parents used their connections to bring in specialists to perform them, so the results were quite ideal. The doctor said that if the recovery goes well, it should basically have no impact on his normal life. I nodded to show I understood. However, after the second surgery, Liam had a big argument with his parents because of Lila. Lila's parents were unreliable and didn't care about her at all. I heard that when her mom went to get her hair dyed, she was persuaded by the hairdresser to buy some kind of oil. After using it a few times at home and not liking it, she told Lila to apply it to her wound, saying it was for beauty and could eliminate scars. Liam wanted his parents to contribute some money so that the specialist, who was still there, could also perform surgery on Lila, but his parents directly refused, thinking he was out of his mind. Mark said that Liam was too agitated at the time, and Liam's father directly asked the doctor to give him a sedative. TSK, such a moving love story, enough to touch heaven and earth, Sophie said wistfully. I smiled without saying a word. The postgraduate entrance exam results came out, I passed. The interview went smoothly too. My life remained as busy as ever, juggling work and studies. My social circle is tiny, so small that I only occasionally share personal matters with one colleague and Sophie. I can barely manage one weekly phone call to my parents. On ordinary days we just exchange brief messages when necessary, never casual greetings. 6 months later, I got promoted due to outstanding performance reviews. Becoming a junior manager in my department came with a significant pay raise. On the night I received my first salary raise, I set a new goal for myself, buying a home. I wanted to purchase my own apartment in City A, preferably a 3-bedroom unit. That way, my parents could visit and stay over, and I'd still have a small study for myself. From then on, I worked even harder, though I carefully balanced my time to continue my postgraduate studies. The following July, after returning home from a company team-building event, Sophie called me. Evelyn, you won't believe what just happened. I was puzzled. Liam's grandmother was so angry that she died. Hearing this news, my mind went blank. It took me a while to regain my senses, and gradually, misty tears welled up in my eyes. In my past life, Liam's grandmother had been very kind to me. She was a warm-hearted elderly woman. Every time at the dining table, she would enthusiastically urge me, "Evelyn, eat this chicken drumstick. You're too thin, you need to nourish yourself. Here, try this fish, it's delicious. Help yourself to the dishes, don't be shy." She would even take my hand and lead me to her room, pulling out candies, peanuts, biscuits, and other snacks from a small camphorwood box. "Eat up, eat up." These were all given to me by my old friends. "Evelyn, let me tell you a secret, I've got loads of tasty treats. I often go downstairs to sunbathe, and my old friends give me plenty of snacks. Also, the other day an old man brought me food, but I turned him down. Because he was too ugly, had no teeth left, and his voice buzzed like a fly." Grandma had such a carefree mindset, believing happiness was simply eating well and being full. But in this lifetime, why did it have to happen so soon? "Who drove you to your death?" I asked. "Who else?" "Liam, of course." Ahem, breaking news just arrived. Lila's pregnant. Liam took her home and told his family he's marrying Lila. Both his parents and grandmother strongly objected. Then they started arguing. Something Liam's grandmother said must have upset Lila, because she started cursing at her. Her exact words were, "You old hag who's got one foot in the grave already, what right do you have to disagree when you'll be dead soon anyway?" Then, Liam's grandmother immediately fainted and passed away. After hearing this, at that moment I wanted to strangle Lila. As reason gradually returned, the thought slowly faded. In this lifetime I have no connection with any member of their family. There's more, Sophie continued. Lila's parents demanded that Liam buy a house in full payment using the child in Lila's belly as leverage, a marital home where Liam's parents weren't allowed to live. Moreover, they demanded 380,000 yuan, plus several gene of gold, diamond rings, and things like that. It seems to be the third day after Grandma Liam passed away that Lila's parents came to make their demands. Anyway, right now, Liam's household is in complete chaos, and with someone having died in the rental, the landlord is rushing Liam to move out. Hearing all this, I was just a little surprised. In my past life, even though Liam and I had a lukewarm marriage, his family was generally peaceful and natural. But in this lifetime, before Liam and Lila even got together, things have already turned into such a miserable state. "Liam, are you satisfied with your choice?" 3 months later, I never expected to see Liam again. That day, I had just finished discussing work with a colleague from my department when my assistant knocked on the door and stood at the entrance, saying, "Evelyn, someone is here to see you, in the reception area." "Alright, I'll be right there." I quickly tidied up the documents on my desk and headed over. When I saw Liam sitting in the reception area, I was momentarily stunned. Gradually, it dawned on me, I had been working here back when we were together, and I hadn't changed jobs since then. Naturally, he knew where to find me. I quickly adjusted my state of mind and walked over. "Did you need something?" Liam had already stood up. His appearance was disheveled now, his hair greasy and unkempt, his eyes dull with dark circles underneath, his stubble grown long, wearing a frayed casual t-shirt and sweatpants. "Yes, I need to talk," Liam nodded. "Let's sit down then." I took a seat opposite where Liam had been sitting moments before. Liam sat down and began with, "Evelyn, you've changed." I ignored his comment. "What do you want?" Liam immediately straightened up before saying, could you lend me some money?" Seeing my surprise, he quickly explained. "I've cut ties with my parents. After my grandmother passed away, my aunt called a group of people to beat me up. My mother fell ill due to poor health, and my father cut ties with me." I frowned, clearly not expecting this. But Liam, thinking I didn't believe him, quickly added, "Everything I said is true. My estrangement from my parents is legally binding, we had it notarized at a public notary office." After saying this, he muttered, "I also resent my parents. They treated Lila poorly and stubbornly opposed my marriage to her. I don't want anything to do with them anymore. This time, I showed no expression. Liam continued, now, I live with Lila at her family's place. Lila is pregnant. Her father went abroad with someone to make big money, and her mother followed some auntie somewhere a while ago. She hasn't come back recently. Lila can't reach her father, and her mother has no money. I've been taking care of Lila, but I don't have a job or income either, so right now, we don't even have money for prenatal checkups. At this point, Liam looked into my eyes and said again, Evelyn, please, can you lend me some money? Even though I never loved you, and I was the one who left you back then, I truly love Lila and the baby. I want Lila to stay healthy, and I want the child to be born safely. I don't need much, just 300,000. Can you lend it to me? No. I didn't hesitate for a second, refusing outright. Liam didn't expect me to answer so quickly, and so bluntly. After staring blankly for a while, he finally spoke. Is it because you hate me for not loving you that you won't lend it? No, I replied. It's because I have nothing to do with you that I won't lend it. Fine, I'll go first if there's nothing else. Also, don't come looking for me anymore, you and I, we really have nothing to do with each other. I had just turned and taken a step when I heard Liam call me. Evelyn. Aren't you afraid I'll make a scene? Suddenly, I guessed he wanted to play dirty. But, I wasn't afraid. I kept walking forward. Until she had taken 9 steps, she heard Liam's furious shout from behind. Evelyn, you shameless bitch. You're all Evelyn's colleagues, aren't you? Perfect timing, come and see for yourselves what kind of person she really is. At this moment, there were colleagues passing by, not many, but not few either. I slowly turned around, listening to Liam's shouting. Evelyn is a complete bitch. Don't let her prim and proper dressing fool you, the things she's done are absolutely disgusting. On the very day we got engaged, she set my best friend's house on fire just to show off in front of him. When I went to put out the fire, both my best friend and I got severely burned. Later when I dumped her, she couldn't accept it. She came to my house harassing me relentlessly, and literally caused my grandmother's death from the stress. Now that she learned my best friend and I are getting married, she went to bully my best friend again, trying to harm the baby in her womb. Evelyn, how can you be so vicious? You're the one who deserves to die, why don't you just drop dead? Hearing these absurd accusations, the corners of my lips curled up in amusement as I laughed first. At the same time, I realized one thing, Liam wants to ruin me. Spreading such slander is just his way of trying to destroy my reputation. But the me of this life, the me now, how could I possibly be weak? The colleagues around looked at the frantic Liam, then at me, composed and silent, unsure how to interpret or speculate. Are you finished? I asked Liam. Liam clearly hadn't expected me to remain so calm and unbothered. For a moment, he was at a loss. I took a few steps forward and stood still. You said I set your friend's house on fire. Then call the police now and have them arrest me. I extended my hand, signaling for him to make the call. But he swayed and took a step back. I angered your grandmother to death, you can call the police, say I'm harassing residents and assaulting people. And if you think I wanted to harm the child in your friend's belly, gather the evidence and call the police too. I stretched out my hand again. 3 things, and I've broken the law in all of them. Go ahead, call the police. This time, Liam looked panicked, his body starting to tremble. I remained calm, waiting to see what he would do. Although the surrounding colleagues were just bystanders, they were all quick on the uptake. Right, since you're so confident and assertive, hurry up and call the police. Murder and arson are serious crimes. Call the police now. If you won't do it, then I'll call for you. A male colleague had long sensed something was off and immediately took out his phone, ready to call the police. Liam panicked and quickly stepped forward to stop the male colleague. No, don't call. What's the matter? Afraid the police will arrest you for spreading rumors? The male colleague was full of righteous indignation. He continued, let me tell you, spreading rumors is illegal, and on top of that, you're causing trouble at our company. We have surveillance cameras everywhere, gathering evidence would be a piece of cake. Upon hearing this, Liam immediately looked up in alarm to locate the cameras. When he spotted the third one, he instantly turned around, lowered his head, and ran off. My work wasn't affected by Liam's rumors. In fact, several colleagues kindly asked if I needed someone to walk me home after work, concerned that Liam might try to harm me. I shook my head, thanked them, and declined. After successfully completing my postgraduate studies, I took my diploma to the HR department, and my salary was raised to a higher level. A year later, I bought an apartment. The apartment isn't very big, 3 bedrooms, just the layout I like, with convenient transportation, schools, and hospitals nearby. There's even a park just outside the north gate of the residential complex. Both my parents and I were overjoyed. They were proud of my small achievements. But when meeting relatives and friends, my parents still modestly said I had an ordinary job and lived a simple life. One morning, as I was heading out to buy some fruit, I had just stepped out of the residential complex when someone suddenly darted out and stood right in front of me. I was so startled that my whole body trembled, and I stumbled back several steps. Evelyn, it's me. The man tightened his down jacket around himself. I looked closely, it was Liam. I was shocked by his sudden appearance. Taking in his current state, he looked weathered, disheveled, and much older, nothing like a man in his 20s. It took me a while to steady myself. What do you want? I asked him. Right now, I'm not worried about my safety. After all, we're at the entrance of the residential area, with a security booth not far away and plenty of people coming and going. I could call for help anytime. I have something to tell you. I remained silent, listening. Evelyn, I've been waiting at the entrance of your neighborhood for 3 days. Today's the first time I've seen you. I didn't understand what he meant. What exactly are you trying to say? I regret it. Evelyn, I regret it. Liam suddenly took 2 steps forward, closing the distance between us. I don't love Lila anymore, I don't want her. I want to be with you, I want to build a life with you properly. I was even more confused. After thinking for a moment, I still couldn't make sense of it. Liam, have you lost your mind? Had he gone mentally unstable? What kind of nonsense was he saying? Liam shook his head, understanding my stunned disbelief, and continued. Evelyn, I had a dream where we got engaged. Shortly after our engagement, we married. You loved me deeply and treated me so well. Hearing this, I suddenly realized. Had you been reborn too? Liam continued, I want to make this dream come true. Evelyn, do you still love me? I can leave Lila, I can abandon my son, and be with you forever. After saying this, Liam added an explanation. Lila is no good at all. The scars on her body are so ugly, they make me sick every time I see them. And Lila gained so much weight after giving birth, she's become a fat pig. I don't even want to touch her. I never expected Liam's life and thoughts to be like this now. After processing the information, I laughed. This man has become even more of a scoundrel in this life than in the previous one. What kind of nerve does he have to come looking for me? Seeing me laugh, Liam instantly became excited. Evelyn, you still love me, don't you? Wrong. Liam froze. I was just about to say, I find you disgusting, get away from me, when my phone suddenly buzzed, a message. My phone was already in my hand. I raised my hand to unlock it and saw the message. It was from Jason, Happy holidays, I like you. After a moment of surprise, I remembered Jason's face and his usual demeanor, and a slow smile spread across my lips. Jason is a client of our company, the CEO and heir of a conglomerate. He returned from studying abroad half a year ago and comes off as a bit of a playboy. He may seem a bit careless, but in reality, he's quite reliable, especially at work. His decisiveness, judgment, and vision are truly admirable. So right now, since it's not work-related, he's just joking with me. Liam noticed my distraction and pressed on. Evelyn, don't you love me anymore? You haven't gotten married all this time, weren't you waiting for me? This time, I laughed out of sheer exasperation. And my thoughts shifted. Rather than telling him to get lost, I might as well play along with this joke to stop him from pestering me further. I turned my phone screen directly toward Liam to show him the message. I have someone I like. Our feelings are mutual. After saying that, I put away my phone and walked past him with ease. After the vacation, Jason and I resumed normal work communication. When we met, we only talked about work. Neither of us brought up that "I like you" line, the joke just faded away like that. After half a year of busy work, in August, the company's vice president suddenly approached me about being sent to work at an overseas branch for 3 years, with a direct promotion to senior management upon return. I wanted to go. After discussing it with my parents, they respected my decision. And so, the matter was settled. However, when discussing my plans to study abroad, our family of 3 made another decision, that my parents would move into my apartment and live in City A from then on. At the end of August, I went home on the weekend to pick up my parents and take them to City A. On Saturday evening, we arranged to have dinner with my uncle's family. In the private dining room, midway through the meal, I received a work call and hurriedly left the room to step outside the restaurant to answer it. Just as I finished talking with my colleague and was about to put away my phone to return inside, I suddenly heard someone screaming. Murder! Ah, murder! I turned toward the source of the sound and saw a man staggering as he ran, with a heavy-set woman wielding a kitchen knife not far behind him. It took me a while to recognize the 2 figures. It was Liam and Lila. Liam kept glancing back as he ran, then misstepped and fell. Seeing her chance, Lila pounced triumphantly, straddling Liam directly. You bastard, die, she snarled. Lila swung the knife down. How dare you look down on me? How dare you cheat? Liam, what right do you have to scorn me? If you hadn't rescued me from that fire back then, would I have been injured so severely? You're the one who made me carry these scars for life. You're the one who ruined my entire existence. Just die, Liam. Lila's face twisted with rage, words still boiling inside her. I'll kill you first, then go home and slaughter that little bastard. Don't worry, I won't live either. Nobody gets to walk away happy. I watched Lila and Liam lying in a pool of blood, and like the other bystanders around, I didn't dare to step forward and intervene. Because Lila was clearly agitated, she still had a knife in her hand and could lash out at anyone at any moment. Someone must have called the police earlier. When Lila heard the sirens, she got up and quickly walked away. Still, no one dared to stop her, because Lila was holding the knife as she left. By the time the police arrived, a bystander explained the situation to them, and the officers immediately split up to take action. After the ambulance arrived, I watched as Liam, on the brink of death, was lifted into the vehicle. As the medical staff coordinated their movements, a momentary gap appeared, and my eyes met Liam's. But my expression remained calm, my heart at peace. Because, Liam, this was the life you had chosen. The next day, as my parents and I left the familiar small town, I saw the news. Liam, Lila, and their son, all were dead. The news said that Liam stopped breathing on the way to the hospital. Lila went home and strangled her child with a rope, then slit her wrists and stabbed herself in the heart, committing suicide. By the time the police broke down the door, both mother and child had long since passed away. After reading the news, I felt no particular emotion or thought, and simply put away my phone. Outside the car window, the scenery flashed by. All I want is to live this life of mine to the fullest. To love myself always, and to stay positive forever. A week later, I went abroad. My parents saw me off at the airport, giving me endless advice. This time, I didn't feel the slightest impatience, I listened attentively and nodded in response. After hugging them goodbye, I waved and headed through security. 30 minutes later, as I sat at the boarding gate lounge chair and was about to take out my laptop to reply to work emails, I heard a familiar voice. Evelyn, what a coincidence. I looked up, it was Jason. He stood at 185 centimeters tall, dressed in all black casual wear with no luggage, wearing a U-shaped neck pillow around his neck while holding his phone, passport, and boarding pass in his hands. I was stunned. What are you doing here? Ahem. Jason cleared his throat and sat down in the empty seat beside me before answering. My family set up a new company overseas. I'm going there to manage it. Is that so? I was half convinced, half skeptical but stayed silent, keeping my eyes fixed on Jason. Jason got unnerved by my stare and started defending himself. Everything I said is true. If you don't believe me, I'll show you our company's personnel transfer order. He scrolled through his phone looking for the document image, and sure enough, I soon saw his job transfer notice complete with an official seal. However, while he was flipping through his photos, I caught glimpses of several pictures of myself all taken during my work hours. They must have been, secretly taken by him. Suddenly, that earlier joke came back to me. After a while, I smiled. Jason. Take me out to eat when you're abroad, okay? Sure. It's my first time going abroad. If I run into any difficulties with daily life, could you help me out? Absolutely, I'd be delighted to.